let's exercise a little bit. If you're an elementary candidate, stand. Excellent. Okay, sit down. If you're a special education major or minor, stand. Yay! All right, if you are a K-12 candidate, meaning music, art, PE, something like that, stand. All right. Secondary educators, stand. Mathematics that are secondary, raise your right hand. Science, raise your left hand. History, raise both hands. And English language arts, balance on one foot. All right, we got a little bit of something going on there. Who'd I leave out? Early childhood. Anybody in early childhood education? Thank you. Yay. Don't ever discount the early childhood educators. When they do a good job, it makes your job easier. A couple things about me really quick. I'm starting my 41st year as a professional educator. And boy, I wish I knew then what I know now. You know, you're gonna try and do your very, very best. And remember that you're going to learn from some of your mistakes. And there actually are some mistakes in the teaching world that will make you go into sales or something else. It's a very conservative field because you are caring for the children of parents who care a tremendous amount about their children. Basically, those parents want two things. Do you remember what they are from 110? To be what? Safe. Yes. Keep their children safe. Do not send them home damaged or crying. And do not make the parents cry by asking them to teach the math assignment. I'm serious. That's a tricky one right there. Be very, very careful with that. Okay, what's the second one? If you want the parents to hold you in high esteem, control the dinner time conversation. Teach them something that they get so excited about that they can't wait to tell their parents. So they're sitting there at dinner with their mom, maybe it's at Pizza Hut, who knows, and mom says, how was school? Oh my gosh, you can't believe what Miss Jones did today! She blew up a peep in the microwave! Oh my gosh! Who knows? Whatever it is. I've been a science teacher forever. We blow up stuff and burn things. It's really fun. If you are keeping children safe, that doesn't mean they're happy all the time. Remember your developmental psychology? They learn best when you hold them right on the edge of confusion, so they have to learn to get comfortable, but don't push them off the edge. That's the skill in being a teacher. Now the other thing you're going to think about, and we talked about this in 110, so I just want to amplify this just a little bit. We are now in a social media world, and you are probably active in the social media world. Okay, that means, depending on how public your social behavior is, you are searchable and findable. As a former hiring manager, as a principal, yeah, I used to spend 15 or 20 minutes searching and seeing what's out there on candidates. But I didn't spend near as much time as the parents did when they found out that I hired you. Because they have way more time for that than I do. Check your social media. We had a student who I think they moved the place or got moved. Lost it because of foul language in their social media. What? What about freedom of speech? Never mind. You're going into a place where parents are trusting you with their child. Sure, you have freedom of speech, but you don't have the freedom to offend. Okay, so be careful. Make sure you do your research. You are at a time going in when there's a possibility that you could have 2 or 3 or 4 job offers, maybe before the end of student teaching. Do you want to teach there? Do your research. We will be talking in detail about these things when we do our seminars about how to get your teaching endorsement during student teaching. Now, one of the things they're going to do when you go to just about any school is that they are going to background check you, likely with a fingerprint check, and they might even charge you for it. And that's totally fine. I mean, what's 40 bucks anyway, right? So it's one more Saturday night when you have to stay home and drink Pepsi. Okay. But you know what? That matters. It's very, very important because most of your life as a teacher is public record and discoverable. And people want to know that their children are safe with you. This is totally fine. Okay? The other thing that you need to be very careful of, I shouldn't have to say this, but I feel like given events of the last 5 weeks, I need to. You need to be really good at the adult concept of boundaries. Okay? These are children and you are not. All right? You are not going to be Facebook friending parents and students, right? Right. Don't do it. I'm just telling you. Now, you might go out and do it now, and that's, on you, but nobody gets, I've got it right here on tape. I said it. Because that puts you in an awkward social position. Okay? Anything with the social media, the Instagrams, and all of those pieces and parts. Be professional. It's super, super important. There is a Canvas part of this course. I'm going to post these videos. I'm going to post this PowerPoint. I'm going to post any information that Lynette and I decide you need to know. So keep an eye on that. If you haven't followed me on Twitter, I put reminders out on Twitter under my handle is CWUNCO. Anybody get that today? I sent a reminder out? Oh, great. Well, that's working. Okay, so, yeah, old dog, new tricks. I'm trying. All right. So these are really, really important. Now, some opportunities for you to think about. There are many districts that are growing very, very quickly and are looking and trying to get you. We have had 2 school districts come to us in the last couple of years and say, how many candidates you have? We'll take them all. What? If you're student teaching in 27J, which is in Brighton, they're going to be interviewing you very seriously. They're an example of a district that's aggressively recruiting new teachers because they're building 3 new buildings and they have to staff them. Okay? Denver Public Schools opened with a shortage of teachers this year. And so did many rural school districts. Now, we have the great good fortune of being trusted by CDE with the Center for Rural Education. If you want or need assistance with paying tuition during student teaching, and you want to teach in a rural school district, maybe you want to go back home or next door to back home, get a hold of, these guys. They're in McKee. There is an application for scholarship that is not difficult, but if you're planning to go out and student teach in a rural situation, you can do that. All right? I've taught in rurals, I've taught in suburbans, I've taught in urbans. They're different. Every school building is its own culture. Before you decide, do your research and see, do I fit in the culture? Look at the faculty picture. Do you have enough piercings and tattoos to fit in with the rest of the faculty? Or do they have none? painting an extreme, but it is something to think about. Read what they're like, go visit them, take a tour, get to be best friends with the two most important people that are there. Anybody know who they are? The janitors and the school secretary. Okay, because the school secretary is the one who hands the applications to the principal. They don't always put them in alphabetical order. And they're really nice people. They're the face of the school. All right? There are opportunities to teach, student teach, out of state or out of country. We have partnerships. If you have an idea that you want to student teach in another state or another country, let Mrs. Kerrigan know immediately. Okay, because there are going to be other things that have to be arranged if you want to student teach in, oh, I don't know, where do we have them this year?
Internationally or
Yeah,
state?
internationally.
Cayman Islands and Switzerland.
Wow. And we've had them in China and Thailand and Spain and all over the place. So it's, you know, if this is your experience, if you have another place you want to do that, we do have student teachers in other states too. So depending on where you're from, where you want to go, that's not out of the question. The only thing that's really out of the question, as Mrs. Kerrigan will tell you in a little bit, is you want to make sure you go to a place where you have a real, authentic experience. If your mom is the 5th grade teacher and you want a student teach in 5th grade and your dad is the principal, you're not going to be treated the same, right? So there are some rules and regulations around that. All right? Now, let's see. Yes. Part of what you're going to do to get ready for student teaching is you're going to be writing some letters and getting your resume ready to go out. It's part of their application stuff, right? So we've asked this evening one of our very best partners at this university to come and speak to you a little bit and give you some resources for that. Our Career Services Office is one of the best I've ever seen, and I've seen many. They are prepared to help you in person, online, after graduation, probably well up to retirement. They are absolutely fantastic. So without further ado,